Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I'm back with another replay. Figured I'd do another cast. I'm trying to make a goal of doing 2 casts each day and then uploading them to YouTube. Um, I'll go ahead and iterate on that in just a moment after I give both of these players their introduction. Let me go ahead and get my thoughts collected. In the upper right-hand corner of the map, spawning as our Terran in the red trunks, I give you all Drunkenboi, and apparently he is legitimately representing the FXO clan. I actually did not know that before this. I should do some more research on this guy next time. But here we go in the lower left-hand corner, spawning as our Zerg in the red trunks, excuse me, the pink trunks. His name is JonSnow. I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to do that. Here we go. Let me go and just turn off the chat. I don't want to get distracted, guys. You know, maybe it contains a lot of valuable information, and sure, you can hear a lot of valuable stuff going down in the background, or critical stuff, but I don't want to look at it because I feel it would be a distraction, and thus a detriment to my casting for this game. Now, let me see here. Back to what I was talking about. Oh yes, I decided to do basically 2 casts each day and upload them to my YouTube channel. Just a slight goal that I'm trying to set. Very subtle one at that. And I guess I'll go ahead and give you guys the rundown right now. Basically, I'll go to cast it once every day, and I will look for a replay that is submitted by a Reddit user. You know, just kind of giving out a contribution to the community. And after that, I'll probably go to the front page of drop.sc and look for a replay that kind of stands out. And that kind of brings me to this point. Like, the whole reason why I decided to take this replay is because I've heard, you know, I've heard basically Drunkenboi kind of being a bit of a promising underdog at the WCSNA. Of course, this replay itself is not the WCSNA edition, but it's basically how that cookie crumbles. I forget who exactly, like, the names of the players that he actually beat. Perhaps I should just Google that a little bit next time, do maybe 20 minutes of homework on both players before actually making a cast about it, because right now I'm sounding like a total retard. You know, honestly, I should probably just stick to the region that I cast best. I mean, like, the ASIA StarCraft League, I know a guy who actually managed to take a game off of Creator Prime in the last ASIA StarCraft League, and he actually, you know, he had very solid performance in this ASIA StarCraft League this time around. And his name is Nuclear Blitz, but I'm sure many of you guys have no clue who he is, because in China he's simply ranked as an amateur. And it's much more difficult to get into the pro gaming scene in China as a player than it is in America. You know, there are far fewer sponsored teams, but of course the scene is growing. And that's basically, like, all I've got. I mean, like, we've got amateurs that are capable of beating Creator Prime in this game, but not being able to take a best of 3 off of them. Now, Cats in and of himself said that this in itself would be an accomplishment to any player. Let me think. Back in the day, like, I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think. He said back in the Brood War days that would have been like nearly impossible, because there was like no pro scene infrastructure or anything like that. And that's exactly what, you know, this is what tournaments like the WCS is all about, basically. I'll explain that in just a moment, but for now, what I do want to kind of give you guys perspective on is just what we see from Drunkenboi right here. This is a Korean style 1-1-1. I say Korean style because I've seen this most frequently on the Korean ladder. Of course, the keynote to it is the triple supply depots right here, and of course the extremely close factory, barracks, and starport. Now I'm a little curious to see just what kind of harassment we're going to see from Drunkenboi with this, but I mean, just look at the meticulous control behind all this. He really doesn't like to waste time with his production. That's why he's already got, you know, basically everything that he needs here. He's cranking out Marines. I'm a little curious to see where he's going to go with that. Already has 3 Hellions. You guys are just spamming away in the chat. Come on, can we give it a rest already, guys? The observers. Anyway, That's about all I got for now. Drunkenboi already moving out with an almost full medevac. And I think he's going to do... No, he couldn't be doing that. He couldn't be doing some kind of elevator trick. Anyway, JonSnow, behind all that, went with a roach opener, a very aggressive one at that. If he has Burrow, which I have no way of telling whether he does or not, he does not. Then he's going to basically be in heap of trouble, but I think this drop coming from JonSnow can do a lot of damage. Oh my god, I misclicked. Sorry about that. But the roaches, they're going to come in here and do a lot more damage to Drunkenboi. There we go. Workers lining up just the way they need to, but the roaches versus Marines. Do we really need to say it? 2 Hellions trying to get as many kills as they can here, and let's just see how much economic damage has been incurred. 6 workers killed already, and the roaches trying to work their way into the main. It looks like the supply depot will end up falling here. No, the SCVs get there just a little bit too late. First Marauder is already out. Beautiful save by Drunkenboi. He's going to be able to hold this, but the question is how many SCVs is this going to lose in the process? I'm thinking not too terribly many. And seeing as he's already killed 15, I want to say this is, basically, they're going to give him a pat on the back and say he did a good job, but of course, ooh, Widow Mine's making sick connections and all of that. Vikings, there we go. Marauders, 2 of them, 2 full Marauders. And, slowly he's coming into reinforce. What is this all about? Come on, this is kind of a little late for an all-in, guys. John, you are in a bunch of trouble right now. Just pull the links back, bro. You don't want to lose anything else. This is just my perspective as a Zerg player. I mean, come on. It's bad enough that the links are already slow, but what really just works against that so much is the very fact that they have to travel so far to get from natural to natural, if that makes sense. Now, one thing that I will remark on right now is the worker count for both players. It is heavily in favor of JonSnow right now. 35 workers to that of the 22 that we see for Drunkenboi. And if we look at the workers killed, I want to say if we just went back 10 workers, if we saw that JonSnow had only managed to kill a single worker and all that, if it was 35 workers to 37 workers, then we would see Drunkenboi in a very equatable situation, but he's not as is because he chose to, he saw the roaches, he reacted the way he could best, but it just wasn't good enough. And looks like there's a few more sick harass going down here. Oh, and the medevac drop gets taken out with one of the Widow Mines inside. The other Widow Mine will be shut down. Meanwhile, we actually have Hellion Run-Bys going down here by JonSnow. Super aggression at its best. Absolutely sick Terran. And now I think we actually see Drunkenboi in a favorable position with 31 workers to that of his opponent's 38 now. Was 29 as he had killed so many of them. But, oh my god, the Banshee actually really just ran by the Queens. Is this a misclick? What the hell am I looking at? What is this? What is going on with the Queens? And 1 for 1, a Queen cannot handle a Banshee. There we go. And it looks like this Banshee's main concern is to basically piss off JonSnow, and it looks like he will succeed in that aspect. The Overseer's finished, so that means now we see a viable form of detection. And thus, we see that Drunkenboi has to back off. Okay, so let's go ahead and review for a moment the 3 methods of, or the triple-pronged 1-1-1, if you will. The first wave was Hellions going into the natural, basically right here, this little roundabout area. And Marines doing a drop straight over here. They followed behind shortly and lit up all the drones just as they were lining up. Now we have double Banshee coming back into play. That's going to be quite interesting to see. Like, this guy, he, 1-1-1 play, it's very hard to make something new, something unique. But I gotta really hand it off to Drunkenboi. He's doing something new with it. He's doing something that we've almost never entirely seen in the dimension of ZVT in a long time. I gotta say, this is a very unique play, and Day 9 has got to do a daily on it. So we have basically triple Banshees coming over here, trying to get a force prevention on the third. It looks like they will succeed in that aspect, because we don't have anything here to defend it. 3 Banshees versus 1 Queen. Come on, get out of town. Get out. And was it forced to cancel? It didn't even have a chance to cancel. I'm thinking that perhaps JonSnow was simply thinking, okay, well, it's just one Banshee. It looks like that line of thinking is going to cost him his queen. Overseer coming over here, Banshee's coming in, poking around, and I think, Drunkenboi knows he's in a tough position, to say the very least. Oh my god, misclicked again. Sorry about that, guys. But now mutas are out, and we see that the Banshees are shut down immediately. If we look at the units lost right now for JonSnow, some of them were just absolutely, free giveaways. 2 queens, a macro hatch in the makes, and a 3rd also on the way. Looks like we're gonna have a lot more Hellions being integrated as well. And behind all of that, we actually have a bio follow-up. Widowmine's going down. The Muta's trying to come in here and get some damage done, but unfortunately, it just looks like they were stopping a little bit short of getting any kills. Yeah. Checking the worker count now, it's 48 to 45, and we actually see that Drunkenboi is in a leading position. I mean, that's the entire goal of the 1-1-1, guys. Really, just beautiful play nonetheless. Defensive Widowmine's going down. You must bear in mind that Widowmine will only kill a single Mutalisk and then damage the rest of the flock, considering, depending on the position of the first hit Mutalisk. Oh, huge misclick there. Missile turret gets taken down, maybe with 1 or 2 workers, and that's about it. No, not even a single worker, actually. All these Hellions waiting by over here. And now we have Drunkenboi, excuse me, not Drunkenboi, but actually JonSnow going for his 3rd right now. But this would make for a very convenient time for Hellions to do a run by, and that is exactly what we see. Unfortunately, yes, it looks like JonSnow actually, he just lost 1 more worker. That was it. But I mean, the lineup was almost perfect there. And now, if we check the engagement that we're going to see here in the near future, it's actually going to revolve with some +1 leagues facing off against some +1 Terran Marines, which are almost at +2 right now. I'm sorry, guys. You guys will have to forgive me. I'm actually getting just a little bit sleepy. I did just get home from work, and I did just get done with 1 other cast, and I'll be doing some more casting in the morning via my Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/ESL Taiwan. Kind of a sick connection there by that Widowmine, and now I want to say that JonSnow is kind of biting the bitter end of the rope right now. There's 4 leagues here. I think they could do a run by, perhaps, and they could actually get a few worker kills here if they do it correctly. Yeah, they got 1, more or less inadvertently, but yeah, they got 1 worker kill out of that. Okay, so here we go. Looks like JonSnow is kind of at a slightly higher supply count now, if you will. Sorry about that, I just got a strange email from Gmail notifying me that my video is now on YouTube. Like, okay, that's great. What else? Anywho, looks like JonSnow's getting into position to make a slight tug and go. It's so obvious what he has planned here. I mean, I can see it. And I'm pretty sure that JonSnow could actually see the plan there. Excuse me, I actually meant to say Drunkenboi was making a tug and go right there, if that makes sense. Lighting diffuse and running away. By lighting diffuse, I mean just poking at this hatchery. Alright, and it looks like we have JonSnow just pushing back right now, going back home. Or, excuse me, not JonSnow, but rather Drunkenboi. I just wanted to note the income for a minute. Forgot I joined this. What is that all about? Oh my god. Welcome to the party. Well, okay, whatever. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and keep that turned off from now on, guys. I'm just a little, I don't know, dumbfounded as to what these guys are talking about. Perhaps it was kind of practice replay, or something of that nature in between. But here we go. JonSnow is going to be in a bit of hurt right now. His main army is out here in the middle of the map, and we have a medevac drop heading into his main right now. If he could get, and by he I mean if Drunkenboi could get away with sniping the spawning pool or the spire, that would be absolutely huge. Although I'm more inclined to think that it's more likely that he'll get the spawning pool. If anything, he's actually focused more on doing economic damage right now, and we do have a bit of engagement going down in the middle of the map. So immediately we see that the main army is not available to be pulled back just yet. If we could just see him open his eyes for a moment, he doesn't need to kill the roach one. He actually needs to kill the spawning pool. But with that, you know, we immediately see JonSnow react by pulling back his main army. Beautiful Widow Mine connections, making quite a few kills there. Drunkenboi just putting himself further and further ahead. Like, just look at all that coal on the ground right there. And now we see Drunkenboi just kind of reasserting his control of the map little by little, in kind of subtle ways. Killing off creep tumors, and looks like the Lings are getting us around on the Marines that just landed, actually. Wow, the Banelings made absolutely sick connections with the Marines as they landed. So I want to say that overall, we actually see JonSnow in a favorable position. Like, look at this, 176 supply to 194. I want to say that, like, you know, checking the income right now, income is not an issue. Right now, it's just basically, how do we see JonSnow, or how do we see Drunkenboi, you know, prevail over this in the near future? It's 131 supply to 163 is. All of it hard counters? I can't really say. I mean, we've got 4 Widow Mines, and they're just absolutely starving to get lucky and kill the Mutalisk Bowl. And once again, I do have the dialogue option shut off because I really feel that's such a detriment to this replay. It can be confusing at times. That's why you hear the dialogue button, but you don't see what they're saying. As here we go, Muta's going into the main, flying out immediately. But these Widow Mines right here. Oh my god, the sick connections that they're making. You know, it's a little absurd, guys. I just don't know what to say about it. We kind of see, you know, JonSnow was in a winning position, but now that's about to change. Oh my god, the Ling's actually looking to make good surrounds. They are, and I don't know if these Widow Mines are... they actually never got activated. Oh my god. So now we actually have JonSnow running for his life. Actually, Drunkenboi running for his life. But these Widow Mines here, what are they going to connect with? It looks like all the Banelings for now. And some of the Lings and the Roaches. The Marines are left to deal with, the Roaches, and the Mutas are left to deal with the remaining Marines. And now almost all the Mutas are gone because of the massive amounts of Widow Mines and their splash damage. 16 Lings in production right now, basically the follow-up that we see from JonSnow. You know, did he ever rebuild that Roach one? That's what I really want to know. Did he? He did not. And the Roaches are actually, I guess, a good answer to Widow Mines. They are slightly tanky. It takes 2 or... you know what? Actually, it takes about the same number that it would to take down a single Muta. 3 or 4. But behind this, JonSnow is actually taking his 5th base. Appreciable given the present circumstances. It looks like we got some Lings trying to conduct a run-by of some sort. Guess not. Some of these SCVs are stuck distance mining. The main did get basically mined dry, and it looks like we're going to have some Lings trying to make a run-by. Meanwhile, there's a triple medevac drop going down into the main from Drunkenboi to JonSnow with love. And oh my god, the Widow Mines are actually doing more damage here to the Marines and the Marauders than they were anything else at that present position. They did manage to kill 1 or 2 Lings, but of course everything else, the dialogue just going on in the background, guys. I really, come on guys, do you mind? It's just, it's a little annoying to hear the chat peaks, it really is. You know, I mean, just let us enjoy the game. Meanwhile, we actually see JonSnow. I want to say he's in a slightly favorable position. The biggest problem is the income. I want to say, like, I mean, best bean wise, if we just look at this, this is a little absurd. I feel. He's only got double gas in the main. He's doing double gas in the natural. His main, it looks like he did put down Vespine Geyser, but I want to say, like, I don't know what to make of this, really. I mean, just look at... this is absurd. I just now thought, never mind. I'll think of a balance issue to ask at the end of this game, guys. Let's just see how it goes. Alright, so basically, a bunch of orange health Marines and such. It looks like they may actually have a chance to snipe this base. This kind of, if you will, forward position. 9 o'clock base. 9 o'clock position base if you will forward. 9 o'clock position base if you will. Checking the Vespine income now for Terran. It's only at about 200 per minute, but it's about to go up just a little bit more. Sick Baneling connections, but there's only Mutas here in the middle of the map, and it looks like Mutas versus Widow Mines is something that you do not want on your plate or your conscience, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, come on! Push this back, JonSnow, and JonSnow realizes he's in a slightly winning position, and it's all going to come down to the engagements from here on out. This is basically, this is reminiscent of the Wings of Liberty days when we would see things like, if you will, roaches versus stalkers in large numbers. Originally starting off in small numbers and then increasing to large numbers. Just look at what's going up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is just slightly reminiscent of it. It's kind of a tug of war. It's kind of like League of Legends to some extent, with just the minions, no heroes. And now we have full surrounds coming from the Mutas, the Lings, and the Banelings. I just want to say that now JonSnow is, you know, I would say he's relatively even with his opponent. He's trying to find all kinds of ways to get all these trip mines, basically tripped, if you will. I want to say that these Overseers also could make more changelings. We have more and more drops going into the game from Drunkenboi to SCA JonSnow, and that was just a dummy. Why? Get a look at this. There's no creep up here. Drunkenboi stemming into the top left and throwing down a drop in the main at the same time. Of course, I'm a little confused as to just what the hell kind of infrastructure can actually be killed here. Top left base does fall. Do we have any workers being killed here? I don't know. But I think Drunkenboi has a decent chance of really doing some damage here. If he could get some tech structures, he's going to take down the Baneling nest, it looks like. That would be a good time to start throwing down a replacement for that as well. Ultra's Cavern finally going down for JonSnow. I've heard nothing but good things about this guy as well. I'd really like to know what the team SCA is. Fungal Growth's going down, but not without losing any investors in the process. And this is it, basically. If JonSnow can't hold this base here, if he can't hold this at all, he is done for. That, you know, the distance mining would simply be far too massive. We're going to see some workers get killed here inevitably. Looks like these Mutas here, all of them most of them will end up being destroyed. It looks like with that we just had, I don't know, let's go back and see here. JonSnow has left the game, so that puts Drunkenboi in a position to be victorious. I do want to highlight for just a moment before this game ended, both players were at even Vespine income. Let's take it back a couple minutes though. I was calling into issue a balance question around the 20-minute mark where we saw the Vespine income for Drunkenboi considerably lower. Like, we only had the 2 here in the main, actually 2 here in the natural mining, and we didn't even have both of these down just yet. Most of the army that we saw coming from Drunkenboi at that time was Widow Mines and Marines. I just thought it was a little absurd, you know, just my opinion. I'm not a pro gamer, but I mean, I find it a little absurd, that's all. Just tier 1 and tier 2 units, you know, medevacs of course. But yeah. If you guys liked what you saw here today, just go ahead and click on the subscribe button to this YouTube channel. This would be Breaker. I'll see you guys next time.